Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in today and welcome to the home of all things FIFA career mode. If you are new to the channel and you do go on to enjoy this video, please help the channel grow by hitting that subscribe button. If you're already a subscriber, welcome back and thanks for your continued support. And if you want daily FIFA career gems content, then just head over to either my Twitter or Instagram. In today's video we take another look at the FIFA journey of 3 players that I'm sure we can all agree are legends of career mode. And first up for episode 2 is the Dutch midfielder Rishi Lee Bazowa, who first shot onto the scene in FIFA 15. He was only 17 years of age and he already had an overall of 71 and a potential of 85. He had a value of 1 million and already had solid physical attributes. Moving on to FIFA 16, he was still playing for Ajax, but his overall had jumped all the way up to 77, and he was now an exciting prospect with a potential of 88. But with the introduction of player training back in FIFA 16, it was very easy to get your players way above potential, just like I did. By the age of 24, it was 98 overall. Moving on to FIFA 17, and Bazowa had got a move to the Bundesliga with Wolfsburg. He was now 19 years of age, but his overall had been cut to 75. His potential was also down to 84, but it was still a solid pickup in FIFA 17. Into FIFA 18, and Bazowa was still at Wolfsburg. His overall had remained the same at 75, and likewise with his potential remaining the same at 84. His value was now 9 million. But after failing to become a first-team regular at Wolfsburg, in FIFA 19, Bazowa was loaned back to the Eredivisie with Utrecht. His overall was down to 74, and likewise his potential was also cut down to 82, but it was still a solid pickup, only 21 years of age, with very well-rounded attributes. So moving on into FIFA 20, and Bazowa had transferred to his current club Vitesse back in the Eredivisie. He was now 22 years of age, meaning his potential status had disappeared. His overall was now 73, his potential was 78, and his value was 4.7 million. But following a decent season for Vitesse, in FIFA 21 Bazowa's overall was up to 75 and his potential was also up to 81. He now has the important addition of having a real face to go along with his solid all-round attributes, which in my opinion makes Rishi Lee Bazowa still an excellent choice for a signing in your FIFA 21 career mode. The second career mode legend in this episode is Brielle Ambolo, who like Bazowa first burst onto the scene back in FIFA 15 as a 17-year-old playing for FC Basel in his native Switzerland. His overall was already 73 and he was an exciting prospect with a potential of 87. His value was 1.8 million and his best attributes were his pace and strength. Into FIFA 16, he was still playing for FC Basel. His overall had been increased up to 76 and his potential, even though he was still an exciting prospect, had also been increased slightly up to 88. He now had a value of 6 million. Into FIFA 17 and he'd got a £10 million transfer to the Bundesliga with Schalke. His overall had remained the same at 76 and likewise with an exciting prospect potential of 88. He was now 19 years of age and his primary position had changed to right midfield. Moving into FIFA 18, it was Ambolo's second season at Schalke, and for the third FIFA running, his overall and potential had remained the same at 76 and 88 respectively. His primary position had been returned to striker, but he could also play as a right winger, and his value now was 12.5 million. Moving into FIFA 19, and it would be Ambolo's final season at Schalke. He was now 21 years of age with a value of 11 million. His overall had remained the same at 76, and even though he was still an exciting prospect, his potential was down to 86. But following several real-life injuries in FIFA 19 career mode, Ambolo had the injury-prone trait added. In FIFA 20, Ambolo had moved to Borussia Mönchengladbach and was now 22 years of age, meaning his potential status had disappeared and had been replaced with has that something special, which just means that a player has the flair trait. His overall had been increased to 77, but his potential had been downgraded to 85. But the good news in FIFA 20 career mode, Ambolo finally got a real face. Moving right up to the present day with FIFA 21, Ambolo is still at Borussia Mönchengladbach. He's now 23 years of age, his overall is 77, his potential is 83 and his value is 15 million. Sadly, I do think injuries has slowed down Ambolo's progress, but he's still young enough to become a top player. And the final career mode legend in this episode is the Croatian midfielder Alen Hilalovich. And just like the other two players in this episode, Hilalovich was first added to career mode in FIFA 15 as an 18-year-old playing for Barcelona B. His overall was already 70, and his potential was 85. His value was 1 million. And with excellent dribbling and passing skills, had Croatia found the new Modric. In FIFA 16, Hilalovich was still playing for Barcelona, but had been loaned out to Sporting Gijon. His overall was 73, and his potential was now all the way up to 90. His value was 4.2 million. Moving on to FIFA 17, and Hilalovich had got a big money £19 million transfer to the Bundesliga with Hamburg. His overall had been increased up to 79, and his potential was still pretty high, up at 88. His value was 14 million. But after failing to become a first-team regular at Hamburg, the following season and in FIFA 18, Hilalovich was loaned out to Las Palmas in Spain. He was now 21 years of age, his overall was 77, his potential was still very respectable, up at 86. And by all accounts, Hilalovich had a pretty successful loan spell at Las Palmas, which led to a transfer from Hamburg to the Italian giants AC Milan. But even though Hilalovich started out FIFA 19 at AC Milan, by the end of FIFA 19 he had been loaned out to the Belgian side Standard Liège. He was now 22 years of age, meaning his potential status had disappeared. He now had an overall of 76, his potential was 83. Hilalovich returned to AC Milan following the end of his loan spell, but the following season and in FIFA 20, Hilalovich was loaned out to the Dutch side Heerenveen. His overall was now down at 72, and his potential had also been cut, now down at 80. But after failing to impress whilst out on loan, at the end of the season 2021, he was released from AC Milan, leaving him without a club at the start of FIFA 21. But in November 2020, Hilalovich signed for the Championship side Birmingham City as a free agent, meaning the squad update later he was added to FIFA 21 career mode with an overall of 71 and a potential of 77. So the player once dubbed the next Luka Modric has been limited to only a handful of substitute appearances for a struggling Birmingham City, definitely not living up to his early FIFA potential. So I hope you enjoyed this nostalgic look back at three players that I'm sure we all enjoyed using in early editions of FIFA career mode. But that does conclude today's video. All that remains to say is thank you so much for watching. Please remember to tune into my channel next time for more FIFA 21 career mode content. But until then, it's FCG out.